During the Lick It Up tour, Paul Stanley grew more and more tired of Vinnie Vincent, finding him to be a strange and difficult personality. On stage, Vinnie became too concerned with showing off. His solo section kept getting longer and longer. Vinnie's solo was supposed to end with a cue from Paul, who would then interact with the crowd. During one particular show in early 1984, Vinnie ignored Paul's cue and just kept playing. Paul finally took the stage and stopped the solo. The two nearly came to blows backstage. After the tour ended, Vinnie was fired, even though technically he had never been hired because he refused to sign his contract. Kiss needed to start their new album but had no guitarist. Grover Jackson of Jackson Guitars recommended Mark Norton, who was hired. His name was changed to Mark St. John. Due to a scheduling conflict, producer Michael James Jackson was unable to produce the new album called Animalize. He helped cut the basic tracks and then had to leave. Producing duties fell on Paul and Gene Simmons. However, Gene decided that he wanted to be an actor now. He had gotten the villain role in a science fiction thriller called Runaway, starring opposite Tom Selleck. With little warning to Paul, Gene declared that he was leaving to shoot the movie. He recorded basic tracks and vocals, and then bailed. Paul was left to produce the album himself, although Gene still received a co-producer credit. Additionally, Alan Schwartzberg was brought in to do some additional drum fills over Eric Carr's tracks. I have no idea why. Animalize was released on September 13th, 1984. I like the cover. It's a simple aesthetic, but it works. I don't really know what Animalize means. I would have called the album Into the Fire or Heaven's on Fire. I think the fire imagery could have been cooler than this animal print thing. To further complicate things, right before Kiss was set to embark on the Animalize tour, Mark was diagnosed with a form of arthritis called Reiter's syndrome. His hand swelled up and he couldn't play guitar. Bruce Kulick, the younger brother of Bob Kulick, was brought in to substitute for Mark for the tour. By December 1984, Kiss decided to make Bruce their permanent lead guitarist since Mark was showing no signs of recovery and Paul had issues recording with him for Animalize. Written by Paul and Desmond Child, Paul played bass. This is a fantastic way to start the record. It's one of my favorite Kiss songs and my favorite song on this record. That opening riff is so good. Eric also gets to show off with some impressive drums. And it's a great introduction to Mark. I really like his leads on this. Lyrically, it's ultimately a song about overcoming adversity. I love the ferocity of the track, and Paul's singing is amazing. I really like the production. Paul did a great job. The drums are bigger than they were on Lick It Up, but the overall mix is better than the one on Creatures. The guitars are big and powerful, and the bass is nice and clear. Written by Paul and Child, Paul played bass. Like Lick It Up, it's a perfect single. It's so damn catchy. It almost makes me mad how good it is. Eric's drumming adds a unique flavor to the song, especially in the chorus. Everything works. Written by Gene, this song is infamous for lyrics like, "I want to put my log in your fireplace." Why am I a Kiss fan? Musically, it's really fucking good. The riff is great, Eric kills it, Mark provides a cool solo, and the main melody is catchy. The problem is the lyrics. This needed to rewrite badly. I don't even get it. Is burning a euphemism that I don't understand? The verses are just Gene singing about wanting to bang a woman, and then in the chorus he's weirdly aggressive and singing "burn bitch burn." Is it supposed to be that he got rejected and the burn is retaliation? Like, why are you so mad? Written by Paul and Mitch Weissman, Gene Bovar played bass and Weissman played rhythm guitar. By the end of the 70s, Kiss had become all-ages entertainment. They were in comic books, starring in cheesy superhero movies, and the Dynasty and Unmasked era heavily catered to that audience with more colorful costumes and lighter music. The band was fairly embarrassed by that, I think Paul especially. They spent most of, if not the entirety of the 80s, searching for some kind of credibility. One thing they tried was to make their content more adult. So suddenly, on stage, Paul is dropping F-bombs left and right. And they wrote songs like Burn Bitch Burn and Get All You Can Take, which features the first F-bomb in a Kiss song. It might be the only Kiss song to feature that word. I know some fans feel it was forced, but I think it works in the song. Lyrically, it's about taking advantage of life. It's got a really good groove and a great solo from Mark. I like this song a lot. Written by Gene, Bruce played the guitar solo. It has a decent riff and a really cool bridge, but it's fairly unremarkable outside of that. It's filler. Written by Paul, Eric, and Child, Bovar played bass. Eric came up with the basic riff, and Paul and Child used that to form the song. I do think Eric could have sang this, but he is featured on the background vocals shouting fire, which is a great part of the song. This track kicks ass. I love the riff, especially when combined with Eric's double bass drumming. The solo is cool as well. It's a killer song. Written by Paul and Bovar, the latter played bass. It's catchy and I love the melody. The big chorus is great and the cadence of Paul's voice in the verses works really well. I also like what Eric brings to the track. There are some solid moments in the guitar solo, but it's a little overplayed. It's not quite what the song needed. Written by Gene and Weissman, the latter played rhythm guitar. This is Gene's best song on the record. Lyrically, it's about how the world kind of changes at night. The perspective that the rules are different. Of Gene's material on Animalize, this has the best melody with a nice big chorus. The verses are cool with some great riff work. I am not a fan of Mark's solo. It feels overstuffed and directionless, too focused on speed and playing as many notes as possible. It doesn't fit the song. Written by Gene and Weissman, Bruce played some additional guitar. This is the worst song on the record. It's just lame and boring. The riff is okay, but that's about it. I don't really like Mark's solo either. Animalize continued Kiss's winning streak, going gold in December 1984. It would later be certified platinum in 1990. It peaked at number 19. The first single, Heaven's on Fire, peaked at number 49, while the follow-up, Thrills in the Night, failed to chart. The tour was very successful, putting Kiss back into headlining arenas across Europe and the United States. A show in Detroit was filmed and released as the previously mentioned Animalize Live Uncensored tape. This is one of the major highlights of the Kiss catalog. I watched that tape so much as a kid. The contrast between Paul and Gene's material on Animalize is staggering. Paul's songs are all great, some really amazing stuff from him. But Gene's stuff is so weak and lame, but not really terrible enough to be funny outside of the log in your fireplace line. While the City Sleeps is solid, but everything else feels unfinished. The lack of effort on his part is very apparent. The resulting album as a whole is disappointing because it could have been one of Kiss's best albums. And half of it is, but the other half is one of their worst.